Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at a fragrance by the company Gisada, Switzerland. And this one is called Ambassador for Men. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Ambassador for Men or for Him by Gisada, Switzerland, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon. So here is a fragrance that actually came out a couple of years ago. It came out in 2019. Of course, this company is based out of Switzerland. Their fragrances are actually available in a few different countries, including Switzerland and Germany. And if the information that I found on Fragrantica is correct, they actually came out with the brand in 2016. So the brand itself is about 5 years old, and they actually have a few different fragrances, many of which I've tried. And so I also have a bottle of Royal, I have a bottle of Imperial, and here we have the men's version of Ambassador. So I got this one in the mail and I sprayed it on and I thought to myself, wow, there's something in here that is very fun, very interesting, very quirky. I got this fresh component from it, but then I also started picking up on something kind of fruity about it, and I did not take a look at the note breakdown, I promise. And I said to myself, there is something very noticeably fruity, and I really couldn't put my finger on it. And then I looked at the note breakdown and I said, wow, this is good. And it actually utilizes a couple of fruit notes that are coming across very organically, very naturally in this fragrance. And I will be making some comparisons to other smells that I've encountered throughout my journey. But let's go ahead and start things off with the presentation. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, it has this very bright, fresh component to it. You get a little bit of bergamot, which surprisingly is not in the note breakdown, but I get this very bright, fresh bergamot, orangey, citrusy thing going on in the opening. And I said that this was a fruity fragrance. So you're gonna get orange in here. You're gonna get apple, which adds this very pleasant crispness in the opening. But then you're also gonna get mango. And I recall smelling it when I received it, about a week ago, and I'm like, what am I smelling? What is that note in here that I'm picking up on? And the more and more that I, was racking my brains trying to figure it out, the more distant I became from the actual realization of the note. So I said, I have to look this up. And then as soon as I saw it, it clicked. It gives us this very bright, fresh, youthful, and contemporary feel to the fragrance. But I think the brightness and the freshness also has like this complement factor about it. So like I said, you have that citrusy thing in the opening, you have black pepper in there as well. So immediately your mind might go to Dior Sauvage, but this is so different from that. It has this mango thing going on in there that is not as much of a mango-centered fragrance as something like Cruz del Sur 2 by Xerjoff, although I can get like little hints of that in here as well. But then I'm also getting like little nuances of vanilla and tonka bean and this sweet thing going on in the base. This does come across as an aromatic fragrance. There's kind of like an agrest accord in here as well. I get the lavender. There's a little bit of violet in here too. But I feel like the strongest ingredients, in my opinion, are the apple, the mango, the citrus, and these sort of mossy, earthy, and slightly aquatic elements in the base as well. Now, this is not an aquatic fragrance by any means. I feel like it's lacking that ambergris and ambroxan and kalone thing that would make most aquatic fragrances what they are. So this one really goes down a very different territory. But this is the type of fragrance that one would reach for if you're looking for like a party, club, really highly complimented office type of a fragrance and you just want to smell good, you want to smell something that is quite different from other fragrances on the market, I think people online made a comparison to Versace Eros Flame. I feel like this one smells much different from that. Eros Flame for me is more about that fiery mint, vanilla, tonka bean thing going on in there. Almost like elements of clove and cinnamon at times. I don't get that from this. This is really a warm, fresh and fruity fragrance, and the mango that's in here is just so bright and so appealing. If you're familiar with fragrances like Erba Pura by Xerjoff or Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi, it's kind of in that vein, but it's so much more fresh, and the fruits are not this tropical melange of fruits. It's more about the mango. And so again, while I try to compare it to other fragrances, at the end of the day, it doesn't ever smell 100% like any of those fragrances that I mentioned because it is unique. It does its own thing. And I really feel like this is going to appeal to, anyone from, a high school student up to somebody in their 50s or 60s, just because it has this uniqueness to it. It has that bright, fresh, and slightly sweet contemporary vibe about it. But as far as the fragrance goes, it provides an olfactory experience unlike one that I have encountered before. And usually when I'm looking at fragrances, I don't want anything that is redundant or reductive. I want something that smells different, something that stands out, something where I smell it right away and I'm like, I know what that is, and you don't get confused and think to yourself, oh, am I smelling this or am I smelling that? It has a very distinct personality about it. And for that reason, I'm really enjoying Ambassador for Men, but I also want to see what the women's counterpart smells like. And I can tell you right now, with Royal and Imperial, we have a great sort of fresh office scent. With the other one, we have a really unique, spicy oud sort of a scent. And so I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing those in the future on my channel as well. But definitely kudos to the brand for releasing this fragrance. I know it's a couple years old, and so there have probably been people out there who have had a chance to get their nose on this fragrance. If that's the case, let me know what you think. Please leave a comment down below. Always curious to see what you think about this fragrance, but in any case, I really love this fragrance, and thumbs up from me. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is a very unique fragrance despite many of the comparisons that were made to Erba Pura and Dior Sauvage and Eros Flame and Cruz del Sur 2. It's really just trying to think about, this ingredient reminds me of that and that ingredient reminds me of that, but the overall picture is so different and so unique that this fragrance truly does do its own thing. In terms of the longevity, I got about 8 hours on my skin. The projection was great for the first 2 hours of application, and yes, for the first half hour or so, it did radiate beyond an arm's length. The versatility for this one is pretty good too. I can see myself enjoying this all year round. I can see if maybe for some people they wouldn't want to wear this one in the dead of summer just because there is a bit of that mango and that vanilla that's used in here as well. And so you might feel like, I don't want anything too sweet for the summer. So I completely understand that. It's marketed for men. I think it's perfectly unisex, to be honest with you. And I think this one would work well in a party and clubbing scenario, but it also has that bright citrusy freshness with a little bit of that spice on account of the pepper and the cardamom that I think makes it a really good professional scent too. So you can wear this one in the office as well. The presentation on this one is really nice. I love the color of the juice. I love all of the accents on the bottle and the gold. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are looking for a bright, fresh, youthful, slightly flirty, and contemporary fragrance, and you want something that smells different, and you want something that plays around with some unconventional fruity notes, definitely check this fragrance out. I think it might be to your liking. Remember, scent is subjective, and so if there's any means by which you can sample a fragrance, of course, top priority would be to sample it first, but it has my stamp of approval. I'm really enjoying this fragrance. I'm gonna leave all of the information down below if you are interested in getting yourself a bottle, and this brand has a lot of really great fragrances to offer. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. That was my review of Ambassador for Men by Gisada, Switzerland. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. If you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, I would really appreciate it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.